Well, as per the title, your voice can be heard and it takes 30 seconds. For theory's sake, polls show 40% of Canadians might vote again for Trudeau. That means 60% won't. Now, round up some math here. If you say there's 40 million Canadians instead of 37 some odd million, if 60% of the people then don't like Trudeau, that's 24 million people. Imagine if every one of them took 30 seconds to say, and let me go back a minute here. This media, this social media, it's today's pen. The old expression, the pen is mightier than the sword. It would take you 30 seconds to, hit video record as I have here on my phone and just say, I don't like Trudeau because whatever, corruption, the deficit. You could go on a little further, say, hey, I voted for him at the start because, he sold us on transparency in government. Turns out he's the least transparent guy to come down the pike. You could say, hey, I'm a trucker from Tiviotdale and I don't like, You could say, I'm just Joe Average from so-and-so and I don't like, whatever. I'm a nurse, I'm a farmer. You don't have to say anything. Say I'm Joe Average and I just don't like this guy, man. He's got caught in more ethics violations. Say what you want to say. It's as easy as that. Film your little blurb, and every morning when you're having your coffee, you could send out another one, or you could send out the same one. Facebook will remove them because you should be aware of this. And it happened before and during our last federal election in 2019. Somehow or another he put Facebook in his pocket that nothing can be posted derogatory towards him or the Liberal Party. I have a video about that. It's entitled, Your Tax Dollars Pay to Keep Me Off of Facebook. But it will pop up before it's removed. You can share it, other people can share it. It can escape Facebook's grasp and be out there. You can also send it to Twitter and other mediums. Now, 24 million people aren't going to do this, but I imagine if there were 10 tomorrow and 100 the next day, and maybe the number grows to 5 million. It might make international news. The news in Australia might say, hey, Canadians have found a novel way of expressing their political opinion without waiting to go to the polls. And maybe somebody will look at your post, be it a 30-second or a 5-second or a 5-minute post, and go, hey, I can do that too. And if you still like his haircut and say, well, I'm going to vote for him again because I'm enamored with his haircut, I think he's handsome, well, you can feel free to say that too. Why you would, I have no idea. However, it's as simple as that. Take 30 seconds. Take a minute. And your voice can be heard. And your voice needs to be heard. Does it ever? To go one step further, I have my own YouTube channel. Google Common Sense Carl videos on YouTube. You need a title to find it because it wasn't that clever of a name. The haircut high on cocaine. That'll take you there the first time, and it's easy to remember, right? The haircut high on cocaine. Common Sense Carl videos on YouTube. However, I'm not here to sell myself. I'm here to sell the notion that your voice needs to be heard, and it can be heard that easily. If you want to create a YouTube channel, I'm computer illiterate. I have a grade 9 education. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I figured it out. I said, hey Google, how do I open a YouTube channel? Pen and paper. A few minutes later, bingo. No expense. No questions and answers, no nothing. Boom, I got my own YouTube channel. And you might, if you're vehement in wanting your voice heard, then create that YouTube channel because Facebook can't touch it. And every morning, you have your cup of tea, your coffee, whether you want to film a new one once in a while or you just want your 30-second blurb that says, I don't like Trudeau's fiscal policies. I don't like being $1 trillion in debt, or whatever it is you want to say. And every morning you can just hit send, bink. It can go to Facebook, it can go to Twitter, it can go to a myriad of places. And that's all it takes. Your voice can be heard that easily. Your voice needs to be heard. Desperately, it needs to be heard. And it's as easy as that. It really is. And this medium, social media, bear in mind, Trudeau's government has literally openly stated that they're going to ban this activity. You're going to have a license to post on social media. Do you think he's going to grant a guy like me who's talking against him a license? No. And he's not going to let you post either. Now, you don't have to agree with all of my opinions, but you can state your own, and they need to be heard. Your voice, whoever you are, your opinion, needs to be heard while it still can be. And it's as easy as that. Get your voice out there. Get it heard.